Welcome everyone to Build Exclusively with Antonio T. Smith Jr. Glad to have each and every one of you on today. Always a pleasure to see each and every one of you all. Just going to do a little recap of yesterday. Yesterday we talked about working through lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. Okay, and so we talked about different causes of lack of ambition. What causes lack of ambition? And we came up with 12 things. So go over them real quick. The first one, well, I'll put them in the chat too, so I can remind everyone. I'll put them in the chat here. There we go. Right. Yeah, here we go. So the first one that we talked about was health problems. These are things that causes lack of ambition: health problems, fear and confusion, lack of vision, lack of faith, low self-esteem, the people you surround yourself with, your environment, what you put and don't put in your body, negative self-talk, your spiritual practice, maturity, and knowledge gaps. And so we went over the first, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went over the first 5 yesterday and kind of went deep into the first 5 causes that lack ambition. And we were talking about what we can do, how we can use AI to overcome those things. So now I'm about to pass it over to a young lady who has been doing an exceptional job talking to us, teaching us, and helping us to execute the things that we need to get done. All the way from G-Town, Galveston, Texas. That's my sister right there. Okay. Miss Deanna Marie.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right. First thing is today is Antonio's 11th pastoral anniversary. He's been pastoring for 11 years. While he does not stand in the pulpit of a church, he has still been pastoring, trust me, for 11 years. So we definitely want to take a moment to just congratulate him first off, pray for him secondly, and and Grace, if you can put his Cash App out there, if anyone would like to gift him as a congratulations for 11 years of pastoring. Yeah, 11 years is a long time. I'm grateful. I had actually stopped going to church. Yeah, I stopped going to church. I was confused. I had questions. Nobody was answering my questions. I had conflict with the Bible because in my head, this is how crazy my thought process was. The Bible was written ages before I was even born. English is not the original language, but we read the Bible in English, which means it's been translated over and over and over and over again. So my thought process was, I don't even know if the Bible is real. I went through that whole process, and I visited Antonio's church first. I thought it was non-denominational, only to find out I joined a Baptist church and became a Baptist minister. Grace, pray for me. No, but seriously though, I really did. I was questioning everything. I stopped going to church because to me, everything, it wasn't right. Like, how do I really truly know that this is what it is? And Antonio, he worked with me. The Bible that I have, the study Bible that I have, is because he recommended it, because he asked me, how do you want to read the Bible? I said, I want to read the Bible like it's a story, like I'm reading a story. And he recommended the perfect study Bible for me. It's in chronological order, the New Living Translation, in chronological order. When I say in chronological order, it threw me off at first because some of the books are actually mixed in with each other. Like Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are actually a section. Like they're interwoven into each other based on the story that's being told. So that helped me out a lot. That really did. But he brought me back to the Bible, brought me back to God, illuminated me on a lot of things. I stopped questioning. Now it's more so conversations with God, because I have a lot of questions that he needs to answer for me, because he's taking too long and he gets silent and he don't want to talk no more. So that's what the conversations are now. And not, is this you? Did you do this? Is what these black and white words is what these black letters on white paper telling me true? And so today we celebrate 11 years of Antonio pastoring. And I'm grateful that he is my pastor, because like I said, I actually stopped going to church. I would do that whole listen to church online stuff. That stuff don't work. Well, it does. But for someone like me, it didn't, because I wasn't really trying to hear it anyway. I was just doing the church thing out of habit, because I've been doing the church thing since I was born. But when I actually joined Antonio's church, I started learning more, because he actually taught the Bible. He didn't teach religion, he taught the Bible. And I was so grateful for that, because it opened me up to so many different things. So we want to congratulate Antonio for celebrating 11 years of pastoring. And if you would like to send a donation to him, his Cash App is in the chat. And we do want to thank him for that, because if any of we know how it is to lead people, but to lead spiritual people, to lead Christian people, to lead religious people, I've watched him do it. He keep joking with me. He say, "You gonna be pastor next?" I look at him all the time. I was like, I just laugh. I'm like, "No, sir. No, that's all you." No, but we are grateful for him. So today Antonio celebrates 11 years of pastoring. He started pastoring in 2012. So it's 11 years of pastoring. All right. So now we are going to move into what we are talking about today. Today's title is Filling the Knowledge Gaps with Artificial Intelligence. All right. So the whole theme of what we've been talking about, is we're struggling with who we are and how that affects our work. We're starting off with our behavior at home equals behavior at work. We talked about lack of a well-defined purpose. Yesterday we talked about working through lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. Grace wonderfully posted the 12 things that we brought up yesterday that causes lack of ambition. So today what we're going to talk about is filling the knowledge gaps using artificial intelligence. So how does a knowledge gap affect you? We know how knowledge gaps affect us at home. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me one quick second. All right, it is summer vacation and the kid's tablet is up and popping. He woke me up this morning, okay? I'm still trying to figure this one out, Grace. It is summer vacation. Why are you awake?
Right. Because when it was time to go to school, you had to wait. You had to wait.
I mean, y'all, he is wide awake at like 7:15. I felt some pressure and I'm like, who is this? What? And I had to roll over and it was him. I was like, oh, well, good morning to you too. And then he kissed me on my cheek. He said, oh, your cheeks are soft. I was like, oh, thank you. Welcome to summer vacation.
Smooth talker. That's it.
Welcome to summer vacation. All right, so today again, we're talking about filling the knowledge gaps with artificial intelligence. When it comes to your business, and guys, we're having a conversation today. I'm not going into teach mode. We're having a conversation. I'm just giving y'all the stuff first, so we can talk about it later. All right, so today we're talking about filling the knowledge gaps using artificial intelligence. So yesterday, Miss Sandra brought up knowledge gaps. Like if you have a knowledge gap, it's hard for you to know who you are and be effective where you work or be effective in your business. We've already talked about, and we're actually in the section of behavior at home equals behavior at work. So if you have a knowledge gap and you're at home, you're going to have knowledge gaps at work. No worries. Having insufficient education is okay because there's plenty of things out there that can help us fill in those knowledge gaps. So when it comes to your business, a business that does not invest in learning new trends and practices may lose out to competitors who do. And then if you are in a job, lack of continual learning and development can make you outdated and irrelevant in your field. So first off, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how having insufficient education, having knowledge gaps, how it hurts you and affects your work. Let's talk.
Okay,
Well,
right.
one, because
Okay.
if you don't know, you don't know what you're missing. And if you don't know what you're missing, it's impossible to fill the gap that you're lacking in. And if you can't fill the gap that you're lacking in, you can't proceed to where you're supposed to be.
Okay.
Just saying.
No, Sandra, look, you're saying wonderfully.
Well, a lot of times when people have knowledge gaps, like Miss Sandra was saying, when you don't know, you don't do. So, yeah, and sometimes when people have those knowledge gaps, they will pause until those gaps are filled. They will not move. You know, I need to know so I can move forward. So,
I have a couple of thoughts, but I'm gonna let someone else go first.
I'll pop in for a minute. And here's my thought. People that have gaps that are in that situation don't even know they have the gap. They're so busy surviving. They're struggling. They're victims of all the different challenges that they have. And all they can do is, what am I going to do today? How I'm going to eat? I got to pay bills. So they have no idea what a gap is, let alone, I don't say that that they're unintelligent. They don't have the time or the heart to be able to worry about a gap. I need food. I got to keep my electricity on. I need gas. I need, take care of these bad kids or whatever the case may be, right? Sorry, that was just humor. Sorry, not talking about nobody's baby.
Don't apologize for
But
humor. These
but
kids,
at the end of the day, yeah, they don't gap. I'm trying to survive. They're busy. That's it. They're so busy surviving, they don't even know one that they have one, and might not care. I gotta eat. I gotta feed my kids.
Mm.
okay, and Tracy said in the chat, that's exactly what she was going to say. They don't know they have a gap. Tracy, are you out of school? Is school over yet?
Right?
Is today the last day?
I know Fort Bend ISD out. Last Friday was their last day for those who went the rest of the days. Summer. Oh, yes, she did say she was doing
Summer
summer
school.
school.
Okay.
No, I like what Miss Adonia said. And that falls right into line with what we're doing, because if you're struggling with who you are too mentally incapacitated to think to even have the idea of having a knowledge gap because rent needs to be paid. Lights need to be paid. Water bill needs to be paid. Gas bill needs to be paid. We got to eat. I got to put gas in the car so that I can get to work. My mama need help. My daddy need help. My brother need help. Heck, I need help. I got to get insured. The insurance on the car needs to be paid. I need to get the sticker updated. I need to get it tuned up. Because if I don't have a car, I can't work. If I can't work, I ain't got money. And then everything I'm worried about becomes even worse. Because then I have to worry about the fact that I may not have a home. So with all of that on top of you, you have no clue you have a mental gap. So thank you, Miss Adonia. That was spot on. Grace, can you put these in chat? Okay, so we have.
And I wanna say this because there's something, like I said before, there's a reason why I'm still here in this group with this system, because it's more than a class, it's more than a program, it's this system. It's a reason why I'm still here. And this is why I mention you all, because I can't help but mention you all, because like I said, one of the things that had me thinking and moving was that when I first came to you all, I was hearing, you can plant better, you can dominate. I heard that before I started doing anything. You know what I mean? So being able to know that that is fact, it kind of jogged me. Okay, what can I plant better? What is he saying? Now I know I'm supposed to be in dominance because, you know, I have some classes every now and then, show people how to be in the dominance with okay, that's another story. But okay, so being in dominance, I know that I am, but what else can I be dominant over? Because of course, like Adonia said, there are things that are coming up on a regular basis just to survive, just to live, just to be. So with all of that being in place, and I'm trying to figure out what is he talking about, you can't plant better, you can't dominate. So that had me clinging. So now I'm not clinging, I'm just basically making sure that I do the steps that are suggested to follow so that I can plant better. So when I started planting better, I started planting because of that sentence, you can plant better, you can dominate, which is why my pennies or anything else I put out is so important to me, because that's something that I would never have done, because I have too many children and too many grandchildren and too many great grands. And I'm thinking about how to make it better for this. So hearing that you can plant better, you can dominate, was like a push and a pull to establish me where I'm supposed to be. Did I make sense?
You did.
Okay.
You did. You really did. No, that made complete sense, because it takes those moments of that something just clicks. Like, so yesterday we were talking with Mr. Antonio, and Antonio's dad, and he said someone came to him and gave him a verse, and the verse, it's in I think it's Exodus 14:14. And he read it, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I heard. I will fight for you, but you need to just sit down and be quiet. I'm gonna fight for you, but sit down and be quiet. Exodus 14:14. And what Miss Sandra is saying is she heard plant better and dominate, and it caught her. I heard Exodus 14:14 and it caught me. Things like that catch you and it draws you in or pulls you into something that takes you higher and higher and higher. All I heard was, while the message was for Mr. Antonio, it was for me too. Gianna, I'm gonna fight for you, but I need you to sit down and be quiet. You can't be the little popping off at the mouth chick that you normally is. You can't do that. I need you to be quiet. So I understand what you were saying, Miss Sandra, when you were saying what you're saying about why you're still here, how long you've been here, and what drew you in. You had a knowledge gap in that Plant Better and Dominate was like, wait a minute. You felt, oh, this is gonna fill that knowledge gap. Let me go and look. So we have, sometimes when people have knowledge gaps, they don't move. Some people don't know they have knowledge gaps. What else? How does having knowledge gaps hurt you and affect your work / your business? I lost what I was gonna say because Miss Adonia killed it, and then Miss Sandra came through and wrecked it even more. Go ahead, Melissa. I saw you unmuted.
So we're fixing my knowledge gap right now. 2017, I was told if you want to have a successful business, you have to have a mailing list. And was given no further instruction. A few people on here has been able to see my email mailing list. So since 2017, I have an email list and I haven't done nothing to it. Now I'm doing something with it.
Okay.
It's taken that long to figure out what to do with what is the next step after confiding, hey, I have all these wonderful leads. What am I doing with it?
Okay, so that is what to do after getting knowledge, making more gaps. That's what that sounded like to me. Getting the knowledge, but then making more gaps. So let's look, anyone else? I had a couple of things, but then I don't know, like I said, between Miss Adonia and Miss Sandra, it wasn't important for me to say. So, because it definitely is gone. Like it was there. First thing it was here and then it's gone.
But getting more gaps isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not. That means
Because that's right. That puts you in the position to say, now what do I do next? What do I do next? I was in prayer meeting last night, and one of the people who bought my book said to me, well, how are sales going? And I said to them, considering what I've done in relationship to marketing, I'm doing real good. Because I haven't established a marketing plan for the sale of the books. And I says, but what I want to do isn't what I did before. Because what I did before, even though I was somewhat successful, I'm not satisfied with what I did before. I don't want to do what I did before, but I don't necessarily know what to do moving forward because I haven't done that yet. And when I was talking to another friend of mine yesterday evening, I said to him, I said, I know I need a marketing plan, but I wanted to be something that is going to, it's not about just making money. It isn't just about making a profit. It's got to be more than that. And I don't have that yet. And I told him, and I don't feel bad that I don't have that yet. But I know that where I'm at right now isn't where I want to be. And I believe if I remain complacent or don't do anything, I'm in trouble. But as long as I'm sitting there going, Jerome, now what are you going to do next? Or what is your plan? I'm going to be okay. because I know I want to do more than what I did before. And I could have done what I did before, but it wasn't enough and it didn't satisfy me. I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. But there's an acceleration there that's exciting because I'm looking forward to that difference. I don't know what it is, but I'm looking forward to that. And the other interesting thing that's happening this time that didn't happen before is I'm getting feedback from those who have purchased the book. And well, oh, I'm on page 200. Oh, Jerome, this is good. Hey, me, you need to talk, man. Some of the stuff that you would do, man, I did this, man, we got it. You know, I'm sitting there going, where'd that come from? So that's another part that's new that wasn't there before. Because with the other sales, I sold it, went about my business, sold it, went about, and the only time I got back with some of those other folks was when they were saying, that first one was good, you got another one, which was okay, and I got another one. But now it's even more, well, I want more. So more gaps is necessarily a bad thing as long as you are continuing to move. And something you said, and Tony said this too, if you can acknowledge it, then you can control it. But if you don't acknowledge it, or where am I at, then it's like, I don't want to do duh.
I don't understand.
And where do we go to get your book, Uncle Roman?
Oh, a link.
Grace Sandals, you are messing up, okay, all right? And let me be very candid. I wanted to spring it on the family once my website was up, because that's the best way, you know. Now, if somebody, and I'll do this, I'll put my Cash App in the, what's your name there? The hard copies are 25, the paper copies are 18. I'll put the Cash App in there, and I'll put my email in there, okay? So if you send me some money and an address, the shipping, the shipping is free, okay? I'll cover the shipping. So 25 hard copy, 18 paper copy. I'll put my address and I'll put my Cash App and my email. If you send me some money and your address, I got you. And the title of the book is Fixing the Broken Without Being Broken. Yay! Me working with the kids in New York for 7 years. All right. Thank you, Miss Grace Sandals, for putting me on this. For putting me on this.
I'm gonna get you some business, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Miss Sandals. I appreciate it. Let me get to work.
All right. So no, that is wonderful, because as long as you're moving forward, knowledge gaps are okay. That means you're moving. That means you're moving. All right. Anyone else? Okay. So we have talked about how knowledge gaps hurt you and affect your work. Does anyone else have any thought processes on how knowledge gaps hurt you and affect your work? Okay, so number one is they don't move. Number two, they don't know. And number three, getting knowledge makes more knowledge gaps. Can anyone else think of anything else? I got one. It finally came back to me, Grace. Oh, our people perish from lack of knowledge. Ooh.
That's in the good book.
Yes. You feel stupid.
Which is so true, because, well, not because, I'll say that is why, sorry for the noise, y'all. That is why when I end anything that I'm saying live, I try to make sure that people understand that they are valuable, because that jars people, especially people like me. We have been beat down to the point where we feel like no one is going to listen to us anyway, regardless of what we have to say. Because I've been begging for my life and my children's life, and it didn't matter. I've been asking the system to help, and it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? They were on the side of who was trying to kill us, literally. So I want people to know that they are valued, that they are loved, that they have a purpose, because there's something in that helps people to understand that without that knowledge, you are going to perish. You are not going to move forward. You are not going to value yourself enough to believe that outside of wherever you are, that is holding you back, it's worth walking out of. So yeah, I just
All right. Yeah, you feel stupid. Like if you, and then you think about it, if you feel stupid at home, how are you going to feel on the job? If you feel stupid at home, how are you going to feel about your business? I've been there. I hated having knowledge gaps, especially in the first industry I was going into. Having knowledge gaps in that industry kills your business. Being a music artist manager with no knowledge of certain things, man, shoot. No, how stupid I felt every day I went to talk to a client. Boy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I felt dumber than rocks. I want to pause for station appreciation. Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr., happy 11th pastoral anniversary. He on here, y'all. He's been sneaking on here. He just don't say nothing. I saw him sneak on. So I just want to go ahead. You know, if you want to unmute your mic for the first time in like weeks, just to, you know, let us know how 11 years of pastoring goes for you, you know. Hold on, y'all. Okay, he said he's good. He said thank you, but he's good. Oh, goodness. But yeah, just pause for station appreciation, Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr. Thank you so much for 11 years of serving the people of God. I know it ain't been easy. I've watched others, but I've had the privilege of watching you closely, Pastor. And whoo, congratulations. I don't know how you did it.
Deanna,
Yes, sir.
I was busy this morning, so I got on late. And then I saw you were, talking about Antonio. And so I hadn't settled. And so I went to my Cash App to send him something, and the Cash App sent it twice. So then I tried to take it back, and I was frustrated, and I was like, "Why am I having trouble, getting this back?" And I was like, "Well, maybe you ain't supposed to get it back. That's his double blessing, because some people supposed to get that double blessing."
That's what it say in the book, Uncle Romy.
Come on, it's in you know about that, Grace. And then here's the deal. And then Grace opened up her mouth and blessed me. I say, no, you didn't, God. I just wanted to share that. Okay.
Come on, Uncle Romy Road, talk about it. Talk about it.
I'm done.
Look, Miss Tracy said that's how God works. Let me tell y'all something. When I heard that Bible verse last night, Exodus 14:14, I knew he was talking to me. I knew that was God telling me, child. Because I used to tell him all the time, God, you know this child. You know you got to come down here, sit in my face and tell me. Because I'm hard-headed. He didn't tell me stuff a lot of times. And I'd be like, no, I won't do that. I won't do that either.
Me too.
No, I won't do that either. God, I keep telling you, I don't want to do that. He'd be like, but I told you, I'm sending you to do it. I say, and me and Jonah are locked at the hip. Let me tell you something. We ain't doing it. I don't want to go over there. They don't deserve me to go over there. I'm going to sit right. And he'd be like, okay, that's how you want to be. And then he just get louder to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll do it. I'll do it. But that Bible verse, it hit me because he was like, I'm going to fight for you. I just need you to shut your mouth. Let me do the talking. Let me do the fighting. And you just shh. And Uncle Rummy, oh, wow. Okay, Miss Tracy. Well, Exodus 14:14. Exodus 14:14, Tracy. Let me tell you something. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, okay, I hear you loud and clear. You want me to do something I ain't never done before? Just shut my mouth. I got you. It's gonna be hard, but I got you. But them double blessings. When you close your mouth, he can fight better for you. He can fight for you better than anybody else can. Yes, sir.
You done made me open up my mouth again.
Come on, run.
2 weeks ago, I'm at church, and I'm greeting folks like I always do. And one of the brothers come in, and he wanted to share something with me that God had laid on his heart. And he wanted to get in close because it was just between me and him. And as he leaned in, he put some money in my hand.
Mm.
And I wasn't looking down, looking at, and as he was putting the money in my hand, I started to talk. He said, will you shut up and listen? So you talking about that scripture, see, will you shut up and listen? And I said, I apologize, and I shut up. And he said, here, just in case somebody else needs some help, here's a little extra. He walked away. I looked at my hand, it was a $100 bill. The book only cost $25. The next day, he threatened me too. He said, and I bet not hear about this or my name attached to it. The next day, I'm in a revival, and the minister in charge of the revival, I told him at the beginning, I brought my book with me. It's $25. I'll see you at the service. He one of my cousins on my wife's side. So I wouldn't ask him, was he going to swear? I need that, right? And his brother came in from Houston. He preached the revival. He got his book after the service. Boom. So when I was talking to the other cousin and said to him, I saw that look on his face that told me he might have been in need, and he was. And I said, yesterday, God blessed me with a little extra just in case I run into somebody who needs a little extra. Here you go. And I'm telling you, blew me away. And I was sharing with the group last night because I was in charge of prayer meeting. I says, I was running my mouth when I needed to be quiet, and I almost missed the blessing of blessing somebody else, which would have blessed me. And I said, and don't get me wrong, he could have used somebody else, but he didn't want to use somebody else. God wanted to use me. And I almost missed the blessing. And then I went back to that brother last Sunday and say, guess what happened the next day? Remember what you gave me? God had me bless somebody the next day with that blessing. Thank you so much for being obedient to what God told you. I say, God, you better stop, God. So I just wanted to add that to what you were saying about.
You don't want him to stop, though. You don't want him to stop. But I get what you're saying.
No.
I get what you're saying.
I just wanted to confirm that, okay? That wasn't no accident that y'all was talking to Antonio's pop and that scripture. Yeah, that was no accident.
See, I've learned, Uncle Romero, that when you listen to people talk, that when you be still and be present, as Antonio always tell us, and actively listen, you get your message. So imagine how, if you just be still and let God fight for you, how he will fill your knowledge gaps for you. It may not come how you think it look, but he'll fill them for you. Because when I tell you something, look, let me tell you, when I heard it, see, when Mr. Antonio first said it, he said it kind of quickly because he was telling what happened to him. He told he told the Bible verse, and it's crazy because I heard it, but I didn't hear it. I actually heard Exodus 14:14. And then I heard him say it, but I heard it, but I didn't hear it. It's like, it was like, he said it so fast. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, say that again. How Miss Sandra was saying she heard plant better and dominate, and it grabbed her. That's what this did for me. And it let me know that if he's going to fight for me, that means he's going to do everything. He's going to go to battle. He's going to put on the armor. He's going to march around the walls. He's going to blow the trumpets. He's going to do all that. All my tail need to do is just sit back and be still and don't say nothing. That means I'll tell all y'all this. For every wall that needs to come down for your business, he's going to do it for you. You just got to be still. For every conversation that needs to be had in a corporate room that's for you, he's going to have that conversation for you. You just need to be still. For every knowledge gap you have, he's going to bring somebody across you that say, hey, here, I got it for you. You just need to be still. And for every argument or conversation you have, be still. Because they say you can't argue with a fool. If you don't say nothing, they arguing by themselves. Let him do that. Let him have that conversation for you. You just sit there and be still. And it's going to come to you. If you're not still, you're not going to see it. Let me tell y'all something. I have been moving so fast. That I haven't been paying attention to nothing. And I don't know if y'all realize how fast it happened, but I caught on to it. Even Miss Susan has commented on how fast it happened. Miss Susan sent out the email, because I got that email she sent out. Antonio opened it. The next day he was teaching it. That was OpenAI. If you sit still, he will fight your battles for you. And the reason why you have to sit still is because, first off, he don't need you interfering. Because when your tail interfere, you trying to pull up the weeds and you pulling up the tares with it. Leave it alone. Go sit your tail on the sideline and let me play this game. And while you sitting still, be quiet so you can hear me when I tell you you're up. The door is open. You just got to walk through it. I don't know what y'all saw when Antonio started teaching OpenAI, but I know what I saw. I saw the answer to every prayer I prayed. I want to be a writer, but I don't know how to structure crap enough I'm not a structure person. I am a all out here person. AI helps me do this. I'm just like a freaking kid. I have 2001 questions a day. Antonio's brain is spitting out code and putting crap together that I cannot comprehend. Therefore, you know what, Deanna? Since you partially sat yourself down so I could fight this battle. Here, you're up. Here's OpenAI. On top of that, let me help you out some more. You want to learn how to do all these graphics that Antonio be doing. Here's Midjourney. You want to be able to do a podcast, but you don't know how to really write the script so it'll sound right. And you don't always want to sit down and record because you don't have time. Here's Descript. You know what? You want to put together these beautiful videos and make it look professional. Guess what? Here's InVideo. He will give you everything you need to fill your knowledge gaps. You just need to let him fight the battles. And you sit yourself down. Don't say nothing. So you can be still and watch his glory. And you can hear him when he call you and say you're up. That's what Exodus 14:14 meant to me. So with that being said, knowledge gaps. I love it because, like I said, artificial intelligence can help you fill your knowledge gaps. I've been doing it since it took me, so like anything, it takes you a second to get adjusted to things. It took me a second to get adjusted to social media. I'm a consumer. I need to switch that, but I'm a consumer when it comes to social media. But it took me a second. Instagram, I don't do that stuff. Musically, TikTok, formerly Musically, took me a second. I'm still not on the whole Twitter stuff. Facebook does its job. TikTok does its job 10 times better than Facebook. And Instagram is right there in lead with TikTok. It takes us a second to adjust to something, but once we get adjusted, we got it. It took Antonio a good 10 times to tell me, why are you thinking? Ask ChatGPT. It took him a good 10 times. Because I had to get used to it. So when it comes to your knowledge gaps, now I'm going to go into like presentation mode with you guys, only because I'm about to talk about different AI platforms. And I know not all of us are familiar with them. So speak up. Like, I still want y'all to talk. We're still having a conversation, but I'm just giving y'all forewarning. I'm only going into presentation mode because I'm about to tell you about different platforms. But this is still a communicational, two-way conversation type of deal. Just want to, give y'all a heads up. Excuse me, my allergies. When I sneezed earlier, when Miss Sandra was talking, it like opened the doors. And so my sinuses are like, it's ready. No, my allergies is like, let's do it. We got it in. So y'all excuse me if I sound a little nasally because that sneeze did it. It just said, hey, let's do it. Okay. So when it comes to knowledge gaps, we talked about knowledge gaps. You don't move. You don't know you have the knowledge gaps. And actually, not all knowledge gaps are bad. I love that one, Uncle Rummy Rum, because they're not. That means you're moving forward. So let's start. So I'm gonna tell you. So when it comes to being in a business and having a knowledge gap, if you don't invest in learning new trends and practices, you may lose out to competitors who do. Uncle Rummy Rum said the first time he started.
Wait. Say it again. Do you have that written down? Say it again.
I got you. Hold on, Grace. I got you. Check line now.
Thank you.
So very welcome. Uncle Rummy Rome said when he started this process at first, I don't know if Uncle Rummy Rome said he used to sell his books out the trunk of his car, and he did good. He killed it. Like, he did so good that he went to them people and was like, hey, I may not need y'all every 2 weeks no more. I'm just saying. So I'm putting y'all on notice. This your 2-week notice for the 2-week notice that's about to come out. But he said this time around, it's happening differently. Because there were some knowledge gaps he had the first time around that he don't have this time around. And then this time around, it's coming with ease. because those previous knowledge gaps have been filled. But now he has new knowledge gaps. But those knowledge gaps are okay to him because it just lets him know, oh, okay. So I'm moving. So these knowledge gaps will let me know that I have moved so far past the old me that the new me has opened up some new realms. And each of these realms have a different knowledge gap. So the moment I feel these knowledge gaps is going to open up something else for me. So knowledge gaps are not always, oh, I'm just going by what Uncle Rummy, I'm kidifying what Uncle Rummy Rome said. Because I can only translate to y'all through kid talk. So y'all may or may not get big words from me, but just know I'm gonna break it down to my understanding. That's what I understood when Uncle Rummy Rome said what he said. He was like, man, look, back in the day I had it going on. But this time around, I have some new knowledge. And with this new knowledge, I'm getting new stuff. And I'm understanding that the knowledge gaps I had before, when I feel them, that means I'm moving forward. So if he was able to give a 2-week notice for his 2-week notice the first time around, what y'all think he gonna do this time around? He gonna be like, well, I ain't even worried about no notices. Now we just gonna go and buy this house, call it a day. I'm gonna go and donate to the church. I'm gonna take my trip to Kenya. I may be gone a few months. Don't mind me. Me and the wifey good because she with me. And we got somebody to help with her too. So she got her travel buddy. I can leave the hotel in Kenya and know she fine because that knowledge gap has been filled too. So y'all, we good. Don't worry about us. That's what's coming next. He just don't know it yet, but that's what's coming next. I don't know where it came from, Uncle Rum. I'm just gonna say. But look, like Miss Sandra say, Sandra Lucky just saying. That's all I'm just saying. But that's what happens when you feel those knowledge gaps. So in a business, you need to learn the new trends and practices. If you're in a job position, lack of continual learning and development can make you outdated and irrelevant. Let's take it to the home. Lack of continual learning and development can make you outdated as a spouse, as a parent, as a brother, as a sister, and make you irrelevant in that field.
Ouch.
Look, Deanna Marie just saying. That's Miss Sandra saying, but I'm just gonna throw my name in there because it fit right now. And what we're talking about is we are struggling with who we are and how that affects our work. So if we have a knowledge gap when it comes to our business, of course we have a knowledge gap when it comes to our personal aspect, our personal self. And then Miss Adonia so wonderfully said, heck, we don't even know we have knowledge gaps. We come up with these wonderful ideas and we think they're great and we move forward with them. Only to be like, wait a minute, I didn't think about that. That's a knowledge gap. How many of you do that in your personal life? How many of you make a decision, move forward, the whole family following you, you hit a wall and you be like, dang, I didn't know that was there. Knowledge gap. Or you feel stupid at work because you feel stupid at home because you got into an argument and everything your spouse said made complete sense. And you sitting there looking like, well, damn, I didn't know. I feel stupid. Or if you're in a toxic relationship at home because you haven't figured out who you are yet, and that person constantly makes you feel stupider every time you, as Antonio has told us before, every time you go to open up a book to make yourself smarter, they knock it out your hand. So now when you're at work, if you have people with that same energy on your job or in your business, you're going to have a certain level of fear when it comes to bringing knowledge to your business because you think somebody's going to knock it out your hand and make you feel stupid about what you're doing. That's why we don't move. That's one of the reasons why we don't move. That goes along the lines with what we talked about yesterday, the people that you keep around you. So if you have a knowledge gap of the awareness of who you are, then you have a knowledge gap of the awareness of who the people are around you.
What brings to mind of how important it is that we renew our minds daily. It, it, it didn't just say once a week, once a month, every other month, every 6 months, every year. It's every day. And that's several times through the day because it is a must. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and who you belong to. The point is to renew your mind. Then you will know who you are, whose you are, and where you are, and what to do about it. Just say it.
There you go. Go ahead, Tracy.
I just wanted to give an example and drop a pin right there where you talked about being outdated. No, what'd you say? Irrelevant and outdated, like at work when you don't fill those knowledge gaps, or just in life. Like for instance, when COVID hit and when we went back to school to teach, we were online. And so everything we did was via Zoom with the classes. And we were supposed to come up with these great presentations in classrooms where it was all technical and everything was through technology. Me, being one of the, I guess you could say, old school type of teachers, I wasn't technically inclined. I was like, I don't know how to do there's all types of Nearpods and Google Classrooms and just everything. And I was paper and pencil type of teacher. And so when we had to switch over to that, because all the students were virtual, I struggled. I struggled so much to being able to effectively teach. And so when we're talking about lack of knowledge, when you don't have the knowledge in whatever you're doing, you cannot be as effective as you may need to be in order to do what you're supposed to be doing. And so I felt irrelevant because of the fact that all the other teachers they did know the technology, they were the ones up presenting at the workshops. They were the ones, trying to teach. They call us old school teachers how to get updated. And the thing about it, I think about it now because I think I resisted the knowledge. So I wanted to add that because some people resist knowledge, which
Yep.
I'm trying to figure out now why, because I'm so glad that I did go ahead and finally say, okay, teach me how to do this. Because if I wouldn't have, I don't think I would be at this point where I am right now with AI and being able to accept the AI. And I don't know if it's the whole, a lot of people say, well, when you use AI, you're cheating. You're not really thinking for yourself. And so it's like a pushback on actually implementing the AI. And I think it's the same thing like when I was pushing back on a lot of the technology, but I literally was outdated and I was irrelevant when it came to virtual classroom stuff. So that was just an example to go right there where you were saying that.
No, that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect. That's exactly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you. That was perfect because
Deanna,
go ahead.
along those same lines, and I was thinking about this when I was talking before, and it coincides with what Tracy's talking about, is that I believe it's human nature to be comfortable. It's human nature to fit into whatever you're doing and be comfortable with that. And when you have to be uncomfortable, there's automatic friction and resistance. That's automatic. And then the question is, am I going to embrace that and figure out how to get through that? Or am I going to find a way to get back to my comfort zone? Because that's what relaxes me. That's what allows me to have peace of mind. But that doesn't necessarily put money in my pocket, and it doesn't necessarily progress me. But I'm gonna tell you, I feel better when I'm comfortable. I feel better when I'm in my comfort zone. That much I know, and that's what I gravitate to, but it might not be what's best for me. Okay. So when Tracy was talking, that's what I thought about.
No, that was wonderful.
Can I
Tracy,
jump
did-
in right behind,
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
right behind Uncle? One of the things that's so amazing to understand is that we have been pushed into a system that we weren't supposed to be in the first place. That's why I say it will always go back to Adam and Eve. We were created to be comfortable. We were supposed to be living the life that God originated for us. So when we overstepped our bounds, it was because we wanted to do it our way, which was the beginning of the fall. So now, whenever, like Uncle said, when it seems like we are supposed to be moving forward or going to the next level, there is a resistance because there's a notion that the enemy says, don't do that, don't do that. But that is where you are going to get back to where you're living comfortably. Does that make sense?
No, that made
Because
perfect sense. No, that made perfect sense. It actually explains Exodus 14:14 to me. It connected dots in my brain. And it connected dots for me because we, like Uncle Romy Rome was saying, we want that comfort. Having that knowledge gap is a discomfort for us. So we do things to stay in comfort so we don't have to feel the discomfort. But if we push through the discomfort of getting the knowledge, and if we push through the discomfort of filling that knowledge gap, it moves us back in. It moves us back into a place of comfort. I was not expecting that.
Me either.
It moves us back into a place of comfort, but we don't want to go through the initial discomfort to find a higher level of comfort. It's all a mental thing. And that's why he says, I'll fight for you. Just be still. He's removing all of the extra so that when he tells us you're up, when we go in, we just have a minimal level of discomfort. But that minimal level of discomfort is like a skyscraper of discomfort to us. He asking us to climb up one flight of stairs and we looking at it like, you want me to go up all these stairs? Like, that's a long way. It's only 12 steps. But that's still a lot, but it's only 12 steps. I did the fighting. I knocked down the other part of the buildings for you. You just got to go up these 12 stairs right here. And you're like, but man, that's just that's uncomfortable. Oh, really? Really, Deanna? Really? That's uncomfortable for you? After you just tried to knock down a building yourself, I did it with just a blink of an eye and then told you to walk up these 12 steps, and you don't want to walk up these 12, but you was willing to go against the whole building? What is wrong with you? That's what we do. That's just me though.
Man. Okay. But first off, Miss Sandra's, what she just said, it got my mind going. Because I'm thinking about, we were created to be comfortable. Like,
It did it for me too.
Like, and then, but then I'm like, okay, it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm just gonna put this out there and jump off, because then I'm like, then they eat from the tree of knowledge, right? And knowledge is what we're talking about. And so then at the same time, in all of the stories and all of the examples, 90% of the examples, most of the people went through some type of uncomfortable state before they got to the promised land, or before they got to that next level of like eternal comfortability. But I'm thinking about pretty much almost all of the situations you can think of the recounts, they went through something uncomfortable to get to, like you just said, that next level of comfort. But then I was thinking, I was like, okay, but then some people are comfortable in a place that is not prosperous at all. So it just made me think of, is it that they really just, are they really comfortable? Or is that just the fact that they were created to be comfortable in whatever they're in? And if they don't know that there's another level of comfort, then you're not even going to try. That's where the lack of knowledge of even knowing that there's another level of comfort. Because if all you've ever known and all you've ever seen is the level that you, your parents, your grandparents have been at, and that has been comfortable for them, then you don't even strive to even get to another level, because it ain't even about going through the uncomfortableness. It's about the fact that you don't even know it's there. Okay, let me stop. I get my mind is going. Thank you for that, Miss Sandra. I'm thinking about comfort in a whole nother level now.
You go ahead.
On that same token, what Sandra said and what Tracy said, what immediately came to me was talking about the children of Israel. When they were in Egypt and God delivered them out of Egypt, he showed his might and his power in so many ways. And then when they got to the Red Sea, it was a crescendo. And he told Moses, what's that in your hand? Moses opened the sea. They walked through on dry land. Moses closed the sea. Pharaoh and them were killed. Wow. Our God is great. And then what happened after that? Moses go up to the mountain, talk to God. What the people do after God did all in one, had the people give them gold, had the people give them money, but God did all these wonderful things. What them clowns do? Build a calf. And God told Moses, you better get on down there because I'm about to hurt some folks. This goes back to your scripture from yesterday. Because the reason we need to go sit down somewhere is because we forget, we have amnesia. We forget that it was God who opened that door. We forget that it's God who made a way so that we can go through the Red Sea, so we can overcome the Pharaohs, and then we pat ourselves on the back. When it wasn't us that did that, it was God who did that. So God has to put us in a position to remind us, yo, it wasn't you, it was me. And then when we walk through, we can give him the credit. Because if not, we're going to take his glory. And he said, my glory will I not give to another. The Lord thy God is a jealous God. So I thought about that in regard of our nature. Our nature is to take that credit, okay? Because we were part of the process, but we're only part of the process because of what he did, not because of who we are. Come on now. He told them, children of Israel, that I'm not giving you all of this and sending you to the promised land because of your greatness. I'm doing it because of their sin. But what did we end up doing? Well, we got it going on because we were God. But it isn't because you did anything special and not because you are special. It's because he God. Hello. And we don't always do that. And we're all guilty of that. So just wanted to share that.
No, thank you for sharing. Thank you all for sharing it. Yes, Miss Sandra done shook some stuff up. But think about it. It was a knowledge gap that caused us to be thrown out of the garden. I'm just saying, Sandra Lucky just saying. I mean, think about it, because there was no knowledge of the tree that we weren't supposed to eat of. We had a knowledge gap. We were offered the opportunity to fill that knowledge gap. And when we filled that knowledge gap, what happened? All hell broke loose. Comfort gone. Like, what the hell? We was doing, you just had to eat the damn apple. You just had to eat the damn fruit, didn't you? We was happy. We was comfortable. So
We
now,
mess up our own comfort sometimes.
what you mean sometimes? We mess up our comfort all the damn time. All the damn time. We doing something stupid all the time because we got a knowledge gap. But imagine if we flipped it. It's like, okay, we lost our comfort due to knowledge, to having a knowledge gap, but how much more comfort can we gain if we use the knowledge that we have, move through the fear of not having that knowledge gap, and gain that knowledge? Fear is out the window with artificial intelligence. The only thing, the only fear, or as we were just talking about, the only issue we have to work through is the discomfort of the knowledge gap of artificial intelligence. You don't want to be irrelevant? Find out what new artificial intelligence can work for you in your field, in your business. If you don't want to fall behind or lose to your competitors, find out what artificial intelligence is trending in your field. Prime example, for chatbots, we think chatbots are just a little conversational thingies on the side. No. Chatbots engage conversations. They answer questions. They fill knowledge gaps, and they give information. So if you take your business and you add a chatbot to your business, imagine the knowledge gaps that you'll fill for your customers. And it helps you buy back, as Antonio's taught us on before, buy back your time so that you'll be able to serve more. Because your bank account is only the result of how many people you serve. And a chatbot will allow you to have those conversations without watering down or diminishing the service that you're giving. You can pour all of your information and program a chatbot to answer the questions, to answer the frequently asked questions. If someone wants to be one-on-one with someone, you can have a chat bot set up for your business, put all of the answers to all of the frequently asked questions. And then, as the wonderful thing about artificial intelligence is, the more you learn, the more you give it. And the more you give it, the more it helps you. So when it comes to having a chat bot, what do? Frequently asked questions, boom, off top. What is this company about? Boom, there it goes. What's the mission? Information fed. What's the vision? Here it goes. What's the objectives of this company? Here it goes. What products do you offer? Here they are. How do I pay for these products? Here are the links. Who is the CEO of this company? Oh, the CEO is Jerome, Uncle Romy Rome Red. Uncle Romy Rome there's all information. How can I reach Tracy? Well, you can reach Miss Tracy at this information. Well, I want to ask Miss Tracy a question. Okay, hold on. Let us transfer you to a live representative. And it transfers them over to either Tracy's virtual assistant, her personal assistant, or her phone. But if we have a knowledge gap when it comes to artificial intelligence, we'll never have that level of customer service. Okay, well, you know what? I need to learn how to program something. Did y'all know that platforms like Khan Academy, Coursera, Udemy, online platforms or personalized learning platforms like that, that's artificial intelligence? You have people getting degrees and certificates online instead of walking into spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and spending hours in a classroom. That helps you definitely fill a knowledge gap. You can get a whole doctorate. Well, yeah, you can get a whole doctorate degree from your house. You may have to show up to some, some labs or something, but it just tells you, oh, go to this here, do that, or it'll tell you, do this project and turn it in. And that's your lab from home. You talk about filling the knowledge gap. And some of them offer free courses that you can take. You may not get the certification that you want, but you definitely got that. You got that knowledge gap. Again, you have personalized learning platforms like Khan Academy, and Khan Academy is widely known for that. They offer video lessons, practice exercises, quizzes. They do math, science, humanities. Like, come on. They analyze your performance and they provide tailored recommendations. That's all artificial intelligence. Let me tell you, y'all use artificial intelligence every day and don't even catch it sometimes.
Yeah, just jump in there. When you said it, because we use.
Uh-oh, you muted.
We use Khan Academy at school, and that's what, like the math teachers, that is part of their homework. Like that is their homework platform. And so Khan Academy is one of the big ones. But when you said it's AI, I'm like,
Right.
You
don't
using
think about it that way.
for years. No, never looked at it like that. It's been in the market. I know we've been using Khan Academy for at least 10 years. So that's interesting that it's AI.
You using artificial intelligence for 10 years and didn't even know. Google is artificial intelligence. Siri is artificial intelligence. Let me tell y'all something. I was having a conversation, I can't remember who I was talking to. And on my MacBook Pro, there's this little circle and it has a white light in the center of it. And then it has all these pretty colors around it. Well, every now and then that little orb pops up on my screen and it says things like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't find this. Because somehow I accidentally hit the button and it heard what I was saying and used its artificial intelligence to tell me, hey, I can't find that. You're going to have to ask me something else. And I'm like, but I wasn't even talking to you. You all in my conversation. Just nosy like a little kid. Mind your business. Artificial intelligence. How long has that been there? Like that, I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's Siri. I don't even know. I'm trying to I don't know what it is. Your phones use artificial intelligence. Y'all, we've tested this out. We'll be talking about something and we'll go like on Instagram or something like that, and an ad for that will pop up. That's artificial intelligence. So if we want to fill these knowledge gaps, it's now time for us to take artificial intelligence and run with it like we've never ran before. Online course platforms like Coursera and Udemy, though they actually partner with universities and organizations to offer wide ranges of courses. I still get emails from Coursera on colleges like Yale and Harvard offering these courses. I can't get a certificate for these courses, but I can get the education. I can get the same exact education that people die over during high school or spaz out or panic over during high school to get into that class, just to get into the school. I can take those suckers online and get the same knowledge that they get. I'm not getting the certificate. I don't necessarily want the certificate or the degree. I just want the knowledge. Using artificial intelligence, we can get the same knowledge that these people at Howard, Harvard, Clark Atlanta, every HBCU, every school like Yale, Harvard, it's some other ones out there, Cornell, it's a lot of other ones. It's a whole lot of them. The same knowledge that these kids who should just be kids, but are many adults spazzing out about, I can sit here in my pajamas with a pizza, a bowl of popcorn, a Coca-Cola, a bottle of water, and some candy and learn in one day. And they spending thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to go fly and sit in a classroom.
Hey, that's me spending that money.
No offense. No offense. But artificial intelligence helped you get some money to help you pay for that, so you ain't got to come out of pocket.
Yeah, but you got me thinking. I'm like, we wasting our money because she can get this intelligence at home.
Y'all be sitting side by side. Did you catch that? No, yeah, I got it. Okay, so what did you get out of that? You did? Oh, okay, cool. Okay. But that's what artificial intelligence has done. That's why you hear Antonio saying colleges are going to become obsolete soon if they don't figure it out. If a college can take their professors, use virtual reality and artificial intelligence and build an online school in virtual reality, so all the kids got to do is like buy Oculus or something. That's the only thing they have to do, and maybe pay like $200 for like an admissions fee or something, and they can just go, they can walk in a virtual reality and sit down, because of course, you know, you gotta pay for the maintenance on that virtual reality. Gotta charge them somewhere. And they can sit there and y'all are sitting, and Tracy, you and your daughter are sitting right next to each other with your Oculus glasses on in the same classroom. If colleges don't catch that soon, they're all gonna go out of business. And it's gonna be looking like the apocalypse, after the post-apocalyptic worlds out here with all these college campuses with dust, with them little what they call them, the tumbleweeds just rolling across the campus. It's like, just, you'd be like, man, what happened? This, and you look, then they go start doing college tours. This was the once wonderful Texas Southern University, and right across the street was the University of Houston. Now you see they're abandoned now, but these two colleges used to be such and such and such and such, and they were right across the. One was a HBU, one was a HBCU, the other one was this. And you know, and while they were not in the same, whatever they call those things, categories, they were competition, because they were right across the street and da 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 da. But then you got the little tumbleweed rolling through. And so so if colleges don't catch that, they're gonna be out of there, because you're gonna have platforms like Coursera, you're gonna have platforms like Udemy, where professors can go take the stuff that they couldn't teach in the classroom and go on Udemy. They can take the stuff that they were told was banned to teach in public schools, high school, public school teachers, teach that sucker on Udemy. You can have, using artificial intelligence, you can have teachers saying, yeah, you know what? I'm not signing the contract this year. I'm gonna teach from my house. And do a full curriculum, put that sucker up on Udemy and sit back and collect a check. And then turn around, get a website, put a chat bot on the website. So when the kids have questions, they can go to the website, ask you, hey, Miss Tracy, Miss Armstrong, I was going through this and this is what happened. And I have questions with this. And so what you do then, you go to the next level of artificial intelligence, you pop open a Zoom meeting, be like, okay, hey, let me walk you through this. Let's pull up the whiteboard. You can draw and do all this and do all that. Eliminating schools. Let me stop so I'll get canceled talking.
Yeah, you got me over here. I'm over here trying to pull up Udemy right now. How do you spell it?
Udemy.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
I'm listening hard.
Yeah. if we move past the knowledge gap, we can take our lives into our own hands. But there's so much telling you don't do that, where you're afraid to move through that knowledge gap so you can get to a greater level of comfort, as Miss Sandra wonderfully put. And I'm not even done yet. You want to learn a new language? Let me tell you something. Oh, wait. Oh, Udemy is how Antonio started learning. He the show the hell did. Udemy is how Antonio started learning code back in 2012 and been using it ever since.
So,
I got, go ahead.
okay, I'm thinking about something though, because like this is the thing, like we have this platform, like before joining this platform, I knew I have a lot of knowledge, but I didn't have this kind of knowledge in this particular area. But like, I did not know about Udemy, and you just told me about Udemy. Now, my thought/question is, a lot of people don't have platforms like this to learn these types of things. So it's not that, I guess I had a lack of knowledge of it, but because I'm in this group is helping to fill the knowledge gaps. So I'm just wondering, like the people who don't have groups like this, they never really excel. Well, they excel in whatever area, because I feel like I excelled in the multiple areas that I've done. But now that I'm expanding to a different area, like y'all have taught me, so like I literally, you just said it's been around that long. I've never heard of this, but this platform would give me a whole nother stream of revenue
Yep.
slash education.
Yes, ma'am.
But how do we get people in platforms? Well, I don't, never mind. I'm thinking out loud.
No. I'm gonna help you. It goes back to sitting still. See, when you take upon yourself to say, okay, so Antonio said y'all are full of general knowledge and not specified knowledge. Udemy is a platform that teaches specialized knowledge. You can't get rich with general knowledge only. I'm sorry. You can't get rich with general knowledge, only special knowledge. And ATS teaches like the specialized knowledge. So that's why you know of Udemy, because Udemy teaches specialized knowledge. And a lot of the Udemy courses you can get certified and licenses for. But also, when it comes, you shifted, Tracy, you shifted. You're not just teaching anymore. Like you are shifting into becoming an entrepreneur. So as you shift your circle and the people, you start attracting that to you, that's aligned with knowing who you are, because you went from teaching, you went from coaching, and now you're shifting into teaching a different level of education and coaching on a different level. So now you have to attract those things to you. And because that's where your energy is, you attracted this call, which means you're attracting the knowledge, which means you're attracting the income. Because like you were saying, as a teacher, I didn't know about this, but you're learning about it today, which means God fought your battles for you. You sat still. Now he's saying you're up. Here it is. Go have fun. I did all the battle. I fought all the battles for you. And then there's a certain link, Tracy. When you go into Udemy, look at the top. It says like teachers. When you click that, or instructors, when you click that, there's two separate types of accounts. You have your student account and your instructor account. Go ahead and sign up for your instructor account. Go ahead and put your picture up there. Go ahead and put your biography up. I'm gonna tell you, you can do all that while we on the call. We got about 30 more minutes left. So you can go ahead and set all that up. Look, she's showing us the screen. There it is. Go ahead and set all that up now. So that way, you know that part out the way. You got that part set up. And it's really easy. If they make it so easy for you.
Well, and I think, and I wish I would have been able to been on the call yesterday. And not to venture off of the main topic, but just a question, because yesterday y'all talked about lack of ambition and mediocrity, right? And so this past weekend, I was at graduation party with my crew, the people that I've known 30 plus years, right? And it was different. I was different.
That's why.
Well, but
it's not bad.
But it came across bad because it came across like, okay, Tracy is over there just not even. Tracy wasn't the same Tracy that they knew from years past. So going to the parties, it wasn't like it's not the same Tracy, right? But with that being said, I was thinking about like the conversations being held. And it was the whole, hey, yeah, you remember when, yada, yada. And I was like, man, can we talk? And my whole mindset was, man, I want to tell y'all so much about this other stuff. Like, can we have conversations about being empowered? And can we have conversations about, like, I didn't even talk about, like, I didn't even mention the book, because they're, I haven't seen you in a long time. What you been up to? And it was just kind of like nothing. But I felt like,
Tracy, I love this conversation. But Tracy, you've grown, so you can't go backwards. And I'm not saying you can't have them as friends. They're different types of friends now. And so your energy is going to go another direction because they're not lifting with you. And don't drag them. You can't, there's a time and a season for everything. That season may have been gone. It's done. It's retired. I'm not saying you can't associate necessarily, but maybe you shouldn't associate necessarily. You're ascending, and that is not a bad thing. And again, every season has a time, and that time maybe has now ended. Not the friendship, not the fact that you know them, you grew up with them, they were your road dogs. You're not a road dog no more, sweetheart. You're a millionaire maker. It's different. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
And the reason I bring this up was because we're talking about the knowledge gap. And it's like, I know, and then you mentioned earlier about how God uses me. I heard it in my spirit. God is using you to help people. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I felt like I missed that opportunity to fill some of those gaps. Like, I wanted to, like, I didn't want to be up, the dancing. I'm like, yeah, we can dance, whatever. I'm like, but the conversation, I wanted to be like, hey, yeah, like, how do I get them to, like, not be a part of the ATS, but I wanted to, like, invite them to get this knowledge. That's where and it was even to the point where my mom calls me the next day and she's like, what was wrong with you? I was like, nothing. And she was like, yeah, you just wasn't you. And I was like, I guess I am me, but I'm not the me that they expected to show up. So, but how do I help you? Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm off the mic.
Keep growing and you keep
Tracy,
glowing.
you can't help people that aren't growing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy,
you don't want to drag people. You don't want to drag them.
You can't. Antonio told me, he said, Jerome, and I had to learn this. And he said, Jerome, you are at a point right now where, you were programmed. And when I came to ATS, that's what I had to learn. The reason why I was struggling was I had adapted to the programming. I was living the matter of fact, I was doing, Tracy, I was doing better than most of my friends and associates, which put me on a different level, but I was still broke. I was still buying into listen to me, but I didn't know that. And I felt good because I was doing better than him, but I was still broke. And I'm like, what's wrong? Because I want to do better and I can do better. But what I really recognize is that I can't bring them to where I want them to be, because if they're not ready, they're not going to, no matter what I give them and what I provide them, it doesn't matter. The best thing I can do is be successful. The best thing I can do is continue to write, not to look down on them and not to put them down, but to continue to be successful so that when they approach me, I can say, oh, by the way, I hang out with the folks at ATS. I hang out with Tracy. Well, who's Tracy? Man, she's this teacher down in Texas. She got it going on. And I listened to her on a boom, 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 boom. Oh, really? You ought to check her out sometimes. Here's her website. Here's her Udemy channel. Boom, 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 boom. I took some of her classes. She blew my socks off. Oh, and boom, 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 like that. But the thing is like Adonia said, you can't drag them. You got to set the example that stirs them up to say, there's something different about Tracy. Well, I'm glad you asked. Versus, y'all need to follow ATS. Y'all, nope. The best thing I can do is be the example and fill my gaps so that they can say, wait a minute, there's something different about Jerome. There's something different about Tracy. And guess what? It's going to be okay. And you know what? You know what's even better, Tracy? Is that because you care and because they mean something to you, you were uncomfortable in that situation because you wanted the best for them. But guess what? You can't force it down their throat and you just can't give it to them. They've got to recognize it and be ready to receive it when it's that time. And when it's that time, you'll know. Hello. That's the key right there. So I'm glad you're uncomfortable, but that isn't a bad thing. And they're sitting there going, wait a minute, what's going on with Tracy? My thing is, well, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad. And that's what I do now. And I'm able to, because I struggle with that too. And I kept back, I said, Antonio, what's going on? Because I said, I felt pretty good. But I said, but I'm still broke. He said, hello. And I'm like, but that's not good. He said, hello. I'm like, wait a minute. Damn it. I'm doing better than him. No, you're not. So I had to deal with all of that internally and then move forward. So that's what happened to me. And I think that's where you're at right now, Tracy. And believe it or not, I think that's a good thing because you're uncomfortable right now about that situation and you want the best for them. And that's a good thing because you'd like say your mama called you, girl, what's up? What's going on? Hello. No. Something wasn't right. Hello. And that's good. Keep up the good work, Tracy. Keep being uncomfortable and finding those things that are going to help you be comfortable. And guess what? And as you grow and as you glow, they're going to be sitting there going, what the hell's going on with Tracy? Excuse me, girl. What's something ain't right? Well, I'm glad you asked. And you can do that with love. And you can do that, and you ain't got to do it with your nose up in the air, because that's not who you are either, Tracy. You're not that kind of person, and you have so much. And I'm gonna tell you, they're going to be those who are going to resist. They're going to be those. Oh, you think you all you listening to that? Okay, because there are people out there that will shut you down and cut you off and won't even listen to what you got to say, and that's okay too. You stay focused, girl. Come on now.
No, I thank y'all so much. And that last part that you just said, man, because like I'm speaking next Saturday, June 10th, and it's the empowerment workshop that I've been promoting. And it's here in Houston. And yes, ma'am. I'm gonna go ahead. Well, let me finish this. And it's gonna be a lot of family, friends, and then it's gonna be like a lot of other people too that I don't know. But that was one of my concerns, is whether or not my family and friends will receive what I'm saying, because of the fact that they are family and friends that have known me from back in the day, Tracy. And so it's kind of like, I hope my message, and this is one of my prayers this whole, like, while I'm preparing for this, is that they won't look at me as, oh, that's Tracy from Riverwood. You know what I'm saying? But
See, the Bible says you aren't going to receive those people in your hometown, those people that know you, they are quick to shoot you down. So we can't go against the Bible now. So when that happens, be ready for it. But some of them will go, there is something different. But everybody, listen to me. Some of them people that know you, just be ready. Make sure you put your arm on, put your big girl panties on. Hey, and be
thank y'all
ready
so
because
much.
it's gonna come. I'm telling you right now, it's going. But you listen to me, Tracy. You're gonna be fine because you took the courage to step outside of your comfort zone and says, you know what? I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to invite strangers and my family, and those who receive it can receive it. Those who don't receive it, that's okay. Because that same book says, if you go into a town and you bring the message and they don't receive it and you did it the right way, you're supposed to shake that dust off of your shoes and go on about your business. Don't take it personal. Hello. Come on now. That book works.
Jerron, you said that so well. And I want to mentor and hug you, Tracy, because you are a diamond. And you have to understand you're a diamond and act like diamonds do. And you shine, regardless of who's watching, regardless of who agrees with it. They're your family. They're always going to be your family. They're going to be hater aids going on. It's okay. Because one person, it may not even be a family member, you're going to pull through and they're going to see your shine and they're going to want to sparkle with you. That's your job now. It doesn't mean you don't love them, but you have to sometimes love them from a distance. And if they call you out, call me out. Don't care. I'm ascending. You can come along or you don't have to come along. It should not stunt your growth and stunt your mission because it's yours. It's not theirs. Your job is to allow people that want what you have to get it. You are good, Tracy. You are a diamond. You are the little sister I just would hug and like teddy bears for. That's just how charming you are. Stay firm to Tracy's. The thing that God gave you, it's yours to have. The ones that get it will get it. I wish I could be there to see you because I'd be the loudest one cheering for you.
All right, now I know Miss Adrian unmuted and then Chef Jay asks if she can add to that. So Miss Adrian, go ahead and then Chef Jay is on you.
I just wanted to say, like, what we're talking about, what we've been talking about for the last 2 days is now that you've encountered those types of people. You've actually seen those people. So if there is nothing pouring into the person, then they don't know, like Miss Sandra said, they don't know that there's so much more out there. So you wanting them to accept you, they may not, because they can only see you for what they know. They can only go as far as they know. So they'll only see you as far as they go. Like Adonia just said, you keep going in wherever you're going, because even if they talk about you, trust me, they're talking about you, but watching you from afar. Don't think that they're not watching. You know what I mean? But the point of it is you keep going, don't stop, because the things that people do wrong to you, they expect you then to react to the wrong by not going forward. So the way that you handle it is you just keep moving. Like, I realized that since I've been with the ATS, I have no fucking friends. Okay. No friends. All right. And the ones that I do care about, I try to put them on to the ATS. But if you can't listen to Antonio for 3 days straight, I don't need you in my life anymore. Why? Because Antonio is speaking something that we don't hear anymore. We don't ever hear it. So therefore, when you hear it, you think, oh, this is wrong. I'm getting away from that. No, lean in, because God has put you into a place, like Sandra said. Sometimes you have things that have been riding on you, and no one's ever said anything. And you just think that you're like the black sheep. Like Antonio says, like you think that what you have in your brain is only being said to you. But no, it's only being said to you in your world, where your people are, in your family, in your friends, in your circle. Because now, if you take every block on here and think about how many brains it is that has nothing to do with you. I've never met you before in my life. I've never been to Texas. You know what I'm saying? But I know that there's a brain in Texas that is doing what I'm doing here. So sooner or later, as we all go on and we all grow, then what is going to happen is your message and my message and Jerome's message and Athonia's message is going to link up. And then before you know it, what Antonio has put inside of us, that you can't plant better, you can dominate, it will be exactly what it is. It will be the domination of all of it. But the one thing I will say is, when you have your group thing, first of all, anytime you ever go anywhere, from now on, you put yourself first. Stop listening to people tell you nothing, because that's what they're doing, just telling you nothing. Because you got something. So tell them about your something. Don't don't shy your something down because you hearing their nothing. Because they got a whole lot of nothing. Trust me. And if you ain't got nothing to stop them, they gonna keep pumping nothing. And nothing, it grows good shit. People pay good money for good shit. Okay. So that's the only thing I could tell you. Like, if they trying to grow something, they gonna blow it, they gonna blow it. But you got something. You understand the power of your P is good. And so don't shy away from it. Tell people, if there's a way that you can get back in contact with the people that you were just with, to let them know about your program that's coming up, you need to let them know about that program. You need to be proud about that program. Be proud on that day. Know that, like I said, they gonna be there. Half of them coming just to see that to see if you did it. I don't believe she did it. What you going? Yeah, girl, I'm going. I'm going. What's she gonna have? But they're gonna be there. So they're gonna be numbers. And at the end of the day, it's about the numbers. And guess what? If one person hears something about the power of the P and do something different about their lives, then that says that what you're doing is exactly what you need to be doing. And then that one person will go back and say, you know, I went to this thing and the girl was saying, just like Jerome said. And that's how it works. The power of the P is powerful. So don't ever shy away. And them people, child, your family is your worst, child. Don't get me started about your family, because your family, and they gonna show up. They gonna want all the food. They gonna want to take food home. They gonna want to do all this stuff. They ain't gonna help. They ain't gonna do any of it. But be prepared for it. That way, it doesn't deter you. It gives you the power to keep going, because the next one is gonna be even better. And I bet what they've been there. The first one to not see what you gonna do. The second one, they gonna bring 3 friends, because they're gonna be so proud of the fact that you kept doing. So go on, do your thing, because like Adonia said, we watching you, and you got it. You got it. You're consistent. You that consistency is everything. And you can teach a lot of people something just because, but most people don't want to hear that shit, because nobody wants to grow. We're good where we are. You know what I mean? We're good where we are. Don't need to hear no more. I don't need to know nothing. As long as I don't need to know, if I don't have a knowledge gap, then I don't need to know anything. I'm good. As long as you're learning, you always got that gap. And so then you strive for the more. But you keep it up. I'm sorry, Deanna. I've been listening for 2 days. I ain't said nothing for 2 days. I was doing good. But
No,
damn it,
that
Tracy said something about family. Girl, don't you get me started with your family and your friends. And they used to, a used to story is powerful. All them used tos, that shit becomes powerful, because you get to stand on that thing. You see Sarah Jakes Robert the other day preaching, and her wig fell off. Don't play with me. Whole wig fell off, and she just kept going. Got power when it came off. Because at the end of the day, my used to story is better than anything that I ever had.
Come on.
So don't you ever try to pull it up on me, because I'm a stand on that thing, because that's why I used to be there. So I could be here now. Think about it. Think about it, child.
Come on
I'm
now.
done. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm done.
You don't ever apologize. You and Miss Sandra, y'all apologize. Don't y'all ever apologize. Uncle Romy Rome, just follow Uncle Romy Rome. Just follow Uncle Romy Rome. Don't y'all ever apologize, okay? Chef Jay, the floor is yours.
Okay, I'm gonna try to be quick because I'm about to pull up at the gym. First of all, I want to say to you, Tracy, if you uncomfortable, thrive. Do not stop. If you uncomfortable, go for it. Because on the other side, that's where you're supposed to be. Far as your friends, that's the same thing that happened to me. But growing up, my mama don't have no friends. My mama always been the black sheep. So my mama is raw. So she used to tell us, baby, you're not gonna have no friends. I don't have any friends, and I'm okay. And my mama is an RN, and she graduated and she kept moving. And my mama traveled by herself, like she's a by herself type of person. But when I went to college, that's how my friends were. Oh, you think you better than me? Oh, you this, you that. And you know what? They still my friends. And you know why though? It's like when God told Jesus that Peter was going to deny him. He knew that. But you see, he didn't let him go. He didn't let him go. And to me, that's the saying, you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies closer. You don't know what your enemies really gonna do. That's why you keep them closer. Your friends, you never have to worry about them. Know who is in your circle, good and bad. Like everybody in my circle, I know. And I say that because God always say, you can't take everybody with you, and you can't. We have free will. So the choice is yours. He gonna always give it to it, but he's gonna show you who's who. Your job is to do your job. Back to the conversation we had last week. Mind your own business. Do you. When God show you somebody, bet God, I see what you're talking about. Let me figure out how to move them around. And your past is just your past. Your past is what, to me, your past is, if you listen to your past and you follow the steps, your past is supposed to bring you to your future, bring you to your success. So like your past don't define you. That's just who you were. And it's okay, because if you wasn't that person, you wouldn't be who you are today. So be it. But just do your job. Like I know my path. I have friends who, I got one friend get money. I don't get money like her. She don't help me, but you know what? She's still my friend, because at the end of the day, when I make it there, when I get the success, and I tell my sister this every day, it's gonna look so good on me when I get it. But everybody around me, and people around you, your friends, they gonna ask you, and I guarantee you, how did you do it? Teach me, show me. Because nobody in this world, they don't care when you're down. They knock you when you're down. But you know, because God is in all of us. Listen to your God, because you have a relationship. Everybody's relationship with God is different. He tells us to do different things. Show up the best you. It don't matter who not listening. Just take that and be like, bet, I see you not listening, because I guarantee you God has a funny sense of humor. You just have to pay attention. He gonna bring those same people around you, and they are gonna kiss the ground you walk on. But you gonna know better, because God showed you, and he showed you who these people was. And I'm not saying don't help people. You help your enemies, but at the same time, they can't come with you. You help them, but they can't come with you. They don't eat at your table, because God shows you your table before you sit at your table. He shows you your table. Listen, don't be mad. You say that. And if it hurts your feelings, cry, whatever, do what you got to do, get those emotions out. But at the end of the day, just be like, your path is your path. When we die, we die separately. We each soul separately. We don't die together. We don't die with our mama. We don't die with our grandma. We die by ourselves. Only thing you take with you is your name. That's it. You don't got nothing else. You can't take your money. You can't take nothing but your name. Do the best that you can for you. Look after for you. And I feel like that's what that self-love come in. Don't be selfish, but do your job. Mind your own business. Stay on your plate. See what other people doing. Just don't let it affect you. affect you to the point where it starts to dictate how you move. That's what I would say. But don't just be like, I see how y'all live, and that's okay because you love me and I know what I got to offer. And God showed me my plans of the future. He ain't showed y'all. That's why y'all don't believe me. But you, my friend, you should believe me. But you don't. And it's okay. It's okay because I know. Long as you know, that's all that matters. You know. That's nobody else. Your mama, your nobody else matter because your relationship with God is your relationship. God have told your friends to do stuff and they ain't did it. But you're doing it. So you're going to be blessed. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Because you are being obedience. They're not. And like I say, when you make it, those same people you talking about, I guarantee you they're gonna be, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. I know her since this whole time. And you in your mind, you just gonna be like, man, that's so funny. Like, God, ha ha ha, this is our, you know what I'm saying? Laughing with God. Like you told me, like, but that's all I had to say, because that's something I had to learn for myself. And that's what helps me with people. Like I learn people. And when God showed me who you are, now I don't go against it. Yep, that's who you are, because I can't change you. Only people you only can change yourself. You. I can't change nobody else. I only can change me. So like, do what you want with that. But I feel like you're gonna be great. And even if you're by yourself, you're never by yourself because God with you. So if it's just you and God, it's just you and God. And He is funny. He's loving. He's everything that you need. You don't need nobody else. And that is the point of everything. And that's something I had to learn. It's just you and God. That's it. Nobody else. So forget everybody else. Just do your job and stay on your plate because everything else is a distraction. And that's all I have to say. I just put up at the gym.
Thank y'all so much. Much appreciated. I needed to hear all of this. Thank y'all. And I didn't mean to take over or anything like that. I was just trying to show like how lack of knowledge ain't wanting to help and all that.
Be
Thank
quiet,
y'all.
Tracy. Be quiet, Tracy. You got nothing to apologize for.
Can I just say something? It
Go
says
ahead.
that He prepares the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. So you not gonna get anything of greatness unless they right there to see. So always remember, as much as we hate the haters and all the doubters and all that, we gotta have in order for it to work. Because it says He prepares the table before me in the presence of my enemy. He anoints my head with oil. My cup will runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. I'm sorry. I had to. It don't make sense without all of it. And then you will dwell in the house of the Lord. And that is what it is. So as much as we don't like it, as much as we, you know what I mean, it's got to happen in order for you to know that you are. If they ain't around you, that means you're too damn close to something and you ain't fighting for nothing wrong because they all right there with you. But that's what it says. So always remember that when you see them close, you know that you eating somewhere close by. Look for your food.
Miss Adrian, I was told to tell you to watch it. When you said surely, you was lean, you watch your tone now. Watch your tone. But no, it's amazing because all of this aligns. Okay. Exodus 14:14. I'll fight your battles for you. Just sit still. Because I will prepare a table before you in front of your enemies. That's what I heard. I heard, I'm gonna fight, you be still, because I'm gonna do the preparations for you. All that, just right there. I'm gonna fill in the knowledge gaps for you. I'm gonna work on the people around you for you. I'm gonna bring to you what you need for you. I'm gonna provide you everything you need. I'm going to fight for you. I just need you to sit still and be quiet so you can hear me when I say you're up. That's what I heard.
My God, I received that. Go on with yourself. I received that. Because I've been
I'm
sitting,
learning.
I've been waiting. I got my AI. I'm here. So I listen. That I receive all of that. I do. I receive all of that because I just been listening. I've been listening. I've been talking. We get off the phone. I've been talking. I'm like, yesterday's class was really good. Y'all hit so many, y'all like I done gained 25 pounds and I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, Jerome. That's all I'm gonna say. But I
Well,
be damn. But I be damn. Watch this. Excuse my we. I done walked twice. I done bought me a whole look. I done bought me a whole walker, so I can walk with the walk. Stop playing with me, cause I need to walk. I need to walk. So I can't say that my legs hurt. I can't say that I don't have the strength. I can't say none of that. So I got a whole damn walker with one of the seats on it, just in case I get tired. I'ma sit down. And then I'm gonna get back up and I'm gonna walk again. Can you believe it? 25. But
Yeah, I got one.
look, but I'll be damned. So I heard that, I received that, and yay, and yay. Come on, Tracy, let's do it.
y'all got me amped today. I'm excited. Well, y'all, it is 10 o'clock. I'm not gonna re-preach anything that just happened because Uncle Romy Rome, Chef Jay, Miss Adrian, Miss Andra, y'all have said enough. Miss Tracy, you have opened this up and don't ever apologize because it's all in alignment. Antonio told me I was going to lose a whole set of friends. I argued with him. I was ready to fight with him. Not now one of them are present today. I can count on one hand how many friends I have because I learned the difference between friends, associates, and acquaintances. Everybody has a reason, a season, or a lifetime in your presence.
Deanna, I'm sorry. Do they ask you about Antonio?
I don't talk to him.
Oh, because I was gonna say when I see my friends, they always do the slide. You still talk, you still follow. You damn right. Me, what's wrong with you? Yeah, I do.
I don't talk to him, Miss Adrian, but I know who paying attention because their names pop up in the database.
That part. Wait a
That
minute.
part right
That
there.
part.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They pop up in the database. So, Tracy, don't worry about them. They watching you. You shining too bright and they see their reflection, so they're not gonna want to talk about they're not gonna want to talk about what you doing because it shines light on what they not doing, but they watching you. And you gonna know how much they watching you when they start popping up in your database. Oh, Mr. Phil, go ahead. Wait a minute, Mr. Phil unmuted. Go ahead.
Tracy, realize that 25% of the people out there don't like you and they never will. You're going to remind them of a husband they just divorced, a daughter who doesn't call, or somebody who kicked over their bike in the 6th grade. So realize 25% of your audience is going to find something wrong with what you're doing, no matter what you do. Just realize that. And then number 2, do we have anybody for Tuesday night this week?
We don't, but we'll get somebody.
Well, I think Tracy, give Tracy another shot so that she can practice for her next Saturday.
You want me to go
Tracy,
ahead?
you want to do the Tuesday night again, just to give you another rep?
I will take it. Thank you.
Looking forward to hearing you.
Thank you. I got some new nuggets now that I'm gonna use. When I think Miss Adrian was saying, use your used to, like your used to. So use your used to your advantage.
All right. That was the use my used to my advantage because I used to do some stuff. I'm gonna use that to my advantage.
You gotta think the used to is where people are.
Mm.
They can relate to the used to. The
Oh,
problem is we talk, like when people talk to us, like that's why we like Antonio, because Antonio is pulling us, but he never forgets the trash can. He's taking the trash can with him. So like we ain't never been in the trash can. But damn, when he talk about the trash can, you know what I'm saying? You can look and say, well, damn, I ain't never been in a trash can. So I'm a little bit better than he is. However, he's further than I am. So that makes you more relatable to the girl on the street that don't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you like I said, like the other day, the tears fell when Sarah's wig fell off. The tears fell because I was watching her bang the whole time, thinking, oh God, girl, you better catch that. It's about this. Oh God, oh shit, what's she gonna do? And the first time it slipped, she pulled it, you know what I mean? But she made a comment and then she let it go. But then she realized that it was about to change. You know what I'm saying? That's the most embarrassing thing that can ever happen. Oh my God, she got one of the biggest platforms. She stood on her platform and let everybody know, fuck that shit. I don't need none of this. What I'm telling y'all is that God is real. I know what he did in my life. And then if you think about it, I don't get on because half time, remember, Antonio used to be so mad. I'd be like, oh, well, Antonio, my blind is messed up. You know what I'm saying? I can see my hairline, whatever the case may be. My wig twisted, is dry. It's all of the things that we have to say to not do something. But if God is calling you to something, not somebody else. If it's a job or whatever, and it's money and all that other kind of stuff might pass away. You might fall on your face a few times because you got to realize what it's all about. But when you hook up with the light of this thing, it don't matter. It really don't matter. And that's what and the other day when I watched that wig fall off her head, I cried. I cried because it was one of the most embarrassing moments because I've been there. I've been there with shit on my face. I've been there with people knowing the dirt and the muck and then having to decide, am I gonna walk in this damn room? You know what I'm saying? And then know that when I walk in the room, 6 of these people is really, that's exactly what they see. But I gotta own it. Cause that's who I was. That's what I used to. Strong, powerful. But you dig into all of it. You got to. I was a hoe. The hoe, the hoe, the hoe, the hoe. You know what the first thing I said when somebody told me, oh, that's that hoe? Child, and I'm still breaking up hard ground because y'all motherfuckers is hard to get through. But when the seed gets dropped, understand that your ground will be open. Understand that this hoe is still working. You understand what I'm saying? They never said anything else to me. That was college. Because I showed my ass in college. That was college. The people that I always thought would always consider me that way. Now they're the ones that call and ask me, well, what you doing? I ain't seen no posts. I ain't seen no God got goons. Where you at? Where you at? And I'm like, wow, that's so powerful. But that, I had to live that. And that's one of the scariest moments in your life, to have to live your truth. But baby, when you live it, can't nobody take it from you. They can't take it from you. And you stand on it, and you stand strong on it. I do. My used to is powerful, man. Don't you dare tell me what I used to do. Bruh! Don't, was you there? Was you there though? Cause you can't really talk about it unless you was there. If you was with me, then you can dig it. You had fun and all that. But if you just heard the story, come on, bro. You want an autograph? You want to meet me or something? Because that's who it is. But I'm standing here in front of you, telling you that God is all the way real.
Mm.
I don't care where you are. People just sit there and listen to me. I guess because I was as dirty as I was. I apologize to my parents all the time about it. But what can I do? My light shine bright. And I'd be damned if I didn't. That's what your family will do. Your family will laugh at it. Your family will dim your light. Keep shining bright around. Before you know it, they switch up. I'm telling you, even my Muslim brothers and sisters sit in funerals now. They sit, they don't move, they don't do nothing. They enjoy themselves, because I have had those conversations. I'd be damned if another one died and you outside smoking a cigarette. What are you doing? Let's get it. It came through all of that. And we about the same age. So, you know what I'm saying? Powerful. Lean into that thing, girl. Woo! And half of them can't do it. I'm telling you. Sit with me for a day. Talk about what you did. Please. I done did it times 3. It all in one sitting. My fault. I'm sorry. What you think you did. Don't play with me. Wait a minute. And you know what? Antonio would be so mad right now. I apologize. Because I done said all that and I ain't turned my face on. I apologize. I'm gonna look somebody in the face. I'm still here. I'm here. Girl's still here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Tracy, I love you. I love all y'all. Y'all are all special. And Adonia, one day I want to get out there. I just want to have lunch with
And we gonna all fly out to Miss Adonia.
Look.
Like, hey.
you. I just want to have lunch with you.
No, thank you, Miss Adrian. Thank y'all so much. Whew, today's been a good day. All right, look, next y'all we gonna see Miss Tracy pop up with all these different Udemy courses and Coursera courses, and she gonna have students all over the country and all over the world. Next thing then after that, she gonna be on stages with 1,000 to 10,000 people in the audience. We just gonna be sitting back like we knew it.
I received it all.
And then all her friends gonna be like, girl, we knew. And they're gonna be the loudest ones. They're gonna be like, that's my girl. We gonna be sitting like, oh, you was one of them friends she was talking about. Okay. But thank you all so much for joining me for this wonderful conversation this morning. Mr. Phil, did you have anything else you wanted to say? All right. You can plan better. You can. Oh, we will see you all for Pathbender tonight at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. For those of you who are part of Pathbender, see y'all tonight. You can plan better. You can dominate. Love you all. Have a wonderful
Get more.
day.